Wait, you've been watering your aloe all wrong. And that's exactly why it's sitting there like a sad, droopy houseplant instead of exploding with thick, juicy leaves. What if I told you the fastest growing aloe plants are actually the ones people forget about? Stick around because what I'm about to share will flip everything you thought you knew about growing aloe vera. Hey there, green thumbs and garden lovers. Welcome back to Earthly Gardening, where we help you grow incredible plants without emptying your wallet. If you're new here, you've just stepped into a community of passionate gardeners who believe that everyone deserves a thriving garden. Today, we're diving deep into the world of aloe vera, and trust me, by the end of this video, you'll wonder why nobody told you these tricks sooner. Before we dig in, do me a quick favor: smash that subscribe button and tap the notification bell so you never miss our budget-friendly gardening secrets. And if you're already part of our amazing community, drop a comment below and let me know, do you currently have an aloe plant, or are you about to start your first one? Alright, let's get into it. So here's the thing about aloe vera, it's supposed to be this indestructible, beginner-friendly plant, right? Yet so many people struggle to keep theirs alive, let alone get it to grow fast and produce those gorgeous, plump leaves we all want. The truth is, aloe doesn't need more attention. It needs smarter attention. And that's exactly what we're covering today with 5 game-changing secrets that'll have your aloe thriving like never before. Secret 1, the neglect method. Okay, secret number 1 sounds absolutely backwards, but hear me out. The best thing you can do for your aloe is to ignore it a little. I call this the neglect method, and it's rooted in understanding where aloe vera actually comes from. This plant originates from arid, desert-like regions where rain is scarce and the soil is poor. Aloe has evolved to survive and actually thrive in conditions that would kill most other plants. When you overcare for your aloe, especially with watering, you're working against its natural biology. Here's what to do instead. Water your aloe deeply, but infrequently. Let the soil dry out completely between waterings. I'm talking bone dry, not just surface dry. Stick your finger 2 inches into the soil if it feels even slightly moist, wait another few days. In most climates, this means watering once every 2 to 3 weeks during the growing season, and even less in winter. When you do water, drench the soil thoroughly until water runs out the drainage holes, then leave it alone. This mimics the natural rainfall pattern aloe experiences in the wild, long dry spells interrupted by occasional heavy rain. Your plant will respond by developing a robust root system that searches deep for moisture, which translates to faster, healthier growth above ground. The magic happens because stress-controlled stress actually triggers aloe to store more water in its leaves, making them thick and juicy. Overwatered aloe becomes weak, pale, and susceptible to rot. So yes, sometimes the best care is less care. Secret 2, the gritty mix game changer. Now let's talk about soil, because this is where most people get it completely wrong. If you're using regular potting soil or garden soil for your aloe, we need to fix that immediately. Aloe vera despises sitting in moisture. Standard potting mix holds water for too long, which leads to root rot and stunted growth. What you need is what I call a gritty mix, a blend that drains so fast, water practically falls right through it. Here's my budget-friendly recipe that works wonders. Mix equal parts regular potting soil, coarse sand, not beach sand, get horticultural or builder's sand, and perlite or pumice. If you want to get fancy, throw in some small gravel or crushed granite. The goal is to create a chunky, airy medium with tons of gaps and air pockets. Why does this work so well? Because aloe roots need oxygen just as much as they need water. In dense, compacted soil, roots suffocate and growth slows to a crawl. In a gritty mix, roots can breathe, expand rapidly, and the plant channels all its energy into producing new growth instead of just trying to survive. When you repot your aloe into this mixture, you'll notice changes within weeks. The leaves will stand more upright, the color will deepen, and new pups, baby aloe plants will start appearing at the base like magic. And here's a bonus. This mix is nearly impossible to overwater, which means you've just eliminated the #1 killer of aloe plants. Quick pause. If you're finding this helpful so far, go ahead and hit that like button. It genuinely helps more gardeners discover these tips. And drop a comment telling me which secret has surprised you the most so far. I read every single comment and love hearing from you. Okay, back to it. Secret number 3 is about sunlight, and it's going to challenge what you think you know. Secret 3, the sunlight sweet spot nobody talks about. Everyone will tell you aloe needs full sun. And while that's partially true, there's a crucial detail that gets left out, and it makes all the difference between an aloe that survives and one that absolutely explodes with growth. Aloe vera loves bright light, but here's the catch: it needs to be gradually introduced to intense sunlight, and it actually performs best with what I call filtered intensity. If you take an aloe that's been sitting indoors or in shade and suddenly plop it in direct, blazing sun, those leaves will turn brown and crispy within days. The plant goes into shock and growth completely stalls. Instead, aim for bright, indirect light or morning sun with afternoon shade. An east-facing window is perfect indoors. Outdoors, a spot that gets morning sun until about noon, then dappled shade for the rest of the day, is ideal. Here's why this matters for fast growth. When aloe gets the right amount of light, enough to fuel photosynthesis but not so much that it burns, it enters this sweet spot where it can dedicate resources to expansion rather than damage control. You'll see leaves growing thicker, developing that beautiful gray-green color, and the plant will start producing offsets much faster. If you're growing indoors and don't have great natural light, don't worry. A simple grow light positioned about 12 inches above your plant for 10 to 12 hours a day works brilliantly. You don't need expensive equipment. A basic LED grow bulb from any hardware store will do the trick and costs just a few dollars. Secret 4. The feeding formula that accelerates everything. Alright, secret number 4 is about feeding your aloe, and this is where we're going to break some conventional rules. Most gardening advice will tell you aloe doesn't need much fertilizer. And technically, that's true. Aloe can survive without any supplemental feeding. But we're not aiming for survival here. We're after explosive, rapid growth. And to get that, your aloe needs fuel. Here's my approach. Feed your aloe with a diluted, balanced liquid fertilizer once a month during the growing season, spring through early fall. The key word is diluted. Mix your fertilizer at half the strength recommended on the package. Aloe is sensitive to salt buildup from fertilizers, so we're going gentle but consistent. Look for a balanced formula, something like October 10-10 or 5-5-5, which gives equal parts nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. Or better yet, use a succulent-specific fertilizer if you can find one. But here's my secret weapon that costs almost nothing: diluted worm tea or compost tea. If you have a compost bin or vermicompost setup, steep finished compost in water for 24 hours, strain it, and use that to water your aloe once a month. This provides gentle, organic nutrition plus beneficial microbes that improve soil health. The results are noticeable. Fed aloe plants grow noticeably faster, produce more pups, and their leaves become thicker and more medicinal rich. Just remember, always water with plain water first if the soil is dry, then apply fertilizer to moist soil. Never fertilize a bone-dry plant, it can burn the roots. Secret 5, the propagation multiplication trick. And now for the 5th secret, which is actually a bonus technique that multiplies your success: strategic propagation and pot sizing. Here's something fascinating about aloe: it grows faster when it's slightly crowded. I know that sounds strange, but aloe vera naturally produces pups when it feels established and comfortable. If you give your aloe too much space too soon, it focuses on spreading roots instead of upward growth and pup production. Start your aloe in a pot that's just slightly larger than its root ball, maybe an inch of space around all sides. Terracotta pots work best because they're porous and help prevent overwatering. As the plant grows and pups appear, resist the urge to report immediately. Let the mother plant and pups coexist for a few months until the pups are about 1/3 the size of the mother. This crowding actually stimulates faster growth as the plants compete for resources. Then, here's the key. When you do separate them, you suddenly have multiple plants, and each one will grow rapidly in its own pot as it establishes itself. When separating pups, use a clean, sharp knife to cut them away from the mother, making sure each pup has some roots attached. Let the cut ends dry for a day before planting. This prevents rot. Then plant each one in your gritty mix, water lightly, and watch them take off. This multiplication strategy means you go from 1 plant to 5 or 10 within a year. You'll have aloe for yourself, aloe for gifts, and you'll truly understand why this plant has been treasured for thousands of years. Before we wrap up, let me rapid fire a few bonus tips that'll supercharge everything we've covered. Temperature matters. Aloe loves warmth and grows fastest between 55 and 80 degrees Fahrenheit. Protecting it from frost, anything below 50 degrees will slow growth to a halt. Don't remove older outer leaves unless they're completely dead. Those leaves store water and nutrients that feed new growth. Let the plant reabsorb them naturally. Rotate your pot a quarter turn every time you water. This ensures even light exposure and prevents your aloe from leaning to one side, promoting balanced, upright growth. Watch for pests but don't panic. Aloe rarely has serious pest issues, but if you spot mealybugs or scale, a simple spray of water mixed with a drop of dish soap takes care of them without harsh chemicals. And finally, be patient. Even fast-growing aloe takes time to truly establish. But once it does, you'll be amazed at how quickly it grows. And there you have it, 5 powerful secrets to growing aloe vera faster and easier than you ever thought possible. The neglect method, the gritty mix, the sunlight sweet spot, the feeding formula, and the propagation multiplication trick. These aren't complicated techniques requiring expensive supplies. They're simple shifts in approach that work with your plant's natural biology instead of against it. If you've been struggling with aloe or if you're just starting out, I promise you, apply these secrets, and your results will completely transform. You'll have thick, healthy plants producing pups like crazy, and you'll finally have that thriving aloe you've always wanted. Now I want to hear from you. Which of these 5 secrets are you most excited to try? Or maybe you've got your own aloe growing trick that works wonders. Share it in the comments below. Our community learns so much from each other, and I love reading your experiences. If this video helped you out, please hit that like button and share it with a fellow gardener who needs to see this. And if you haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? We've got tons more budget-friendly gardening content coming your way. Click that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss a video. Thank you so much for watching Earthly Gardening. Until next time, keep growing, keep learning, and remember you don't need to spend a fortune to have an incredible garden. Happy gardening, everyone.